go!
Don't give it up, Lupe. Don't give it up, Solo. Don't give it up, Nave. Don't give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are here with Logan, who just went 4-0 at our store championships today.
Yeah.
Playing what deck?
We're going with Katakuri.
Oh, yes, the Scourge, the yellow Scourge.
Everyone's favorite deck this set, apparently.
Oh, my God, yeah. I was on the deck, honestly. I love it, but now I just don't play it out of spite.
Real, you know what?
Yes. All right, so what were your matches like today?
Yeah, they were all good. I think they all were pretty smooth. I played against one Dofi that was actually a really close game.
Yeah,
the person who's recording this is my friend. That game was actually very tough, and I was not ready for how hard Doflamingo actually was, but everything else went pretty smooth. My final round was against Queen, and that went, I think I played the curve super fast, and I think they had one misplay that really let me just clean up the game quick. My first round was against a Queen. That game was close, but we squeaked in. Then the other game was Katakuri, and I ended up going first that game and still ended up winning. We had the same amount of 10 drops. I think I just played that set super well. So I was very happy about it.
Gotcha. Because yeah, I mean, Katakuri is always going to be good in this matchup. Like, it's definitely the more like, hey, what's going to happen to my trigger type of deck. But if you see the triggers you want and you can see your
I don't even think you need triggers to win. It's nice in the way the math at my deck is you're supposed to see at least 2 defensive triggers on your life every game. When I say defensive trigger, I'm talking about Brule, Sanji, Beji, something like that. But you're going to see like roughly 2 triggers every single game.
Yeah.
And so depending when they come up and if you can stack your life to really put your opponent in like a bad position, it can be real dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. All right, well, you know what? We're here to talk about the deck, show it off. Yeah, let's do it.
For sure.
So why did you pick Katakuri?
I've been playing it since, I got into the game in around the middle of set 2. I was playing on the online sim for OP3 because I was like, you know what, let's see what's new while set 2 is going on. And someone played 7-drop Big Mom against me, and I was still new to the game. I was like, wow, this card looks like bullshit. I want to play this deck. So I've been playing Katakuri since before OP3 came out, and I've just been sticking with it, and it got so many buffs this set. I was like, I'm already comfortable with it, so I think might as well just keep rocking with it.
There you go. All right, well, perfect. Let's see that deck list.
So, nothing too out of the ordinary here. We got 4 pudding, Searcher, classic. Nothing too strange there. We run a 1-of the 2K Sanji. I think running 13 2Ks in this deck is kind of the sweet spot.
Oh yeah.
Plus, sometimes you just need a card to play on turn 2, and it's good search as well. You could take a 2K off your life and maybe stack a trigger on there. That usually feels great.
Right, absolutely.
So, and then we'll just get into some of my other 2Ks here. We're gonna go for Strucin. Strucin is my GOAT against Law. You need this card to beat Law. It's pop a 1-drop, discard maybe a Thunderbolt, Shirahoshi, Beji in your hand, whatever, you know, just get it out of your hand and it's good. Another card that's great against Law in general and just other 2-drops, we have a Monde. This card's also great against Whitebeard because you can rest Fossa now. And that's super, that feels strong because if you have a 10-drop and they think they're safe behind 2 Fossas, you can drop 1, rest 1, and do some other stuff with it. So I think Monde is great. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get into my defensive triggers here. I run 2 Brule.
Ooh.
Enough said. I think 2 Brule is good. I think I'm comfortable with that number. Plus, it's also nice that like sometimes in the mirror, this card's sick. Even if it's not in your life, you just play down Brule, and yellow has no removal other than Thunderbolt. And if they have to Thunderbolt to remove a Brule, probably in an okay spot.
Yep,
so
exactly.
We run 4 Sanji. Nothing too strange there. Sanji, great card.
He's amazing.
Sometimes I'll just hard cast it, use it as a swinger, like against a Queen today. I had nothing better to do, and against Dofi today, I had nothing better to go. I was going first, swing 7, play down a Sanji.
Yeah.
And I would just swing with it, just because sometimes you need bodies, and if you see it on life, even better.
Exactly. The fact that you got a defensive trigger that can also swing in if you choose to is
pretty busted, right?
So good.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go 3 Shirahoshi. I think this card's great. You're running a bunch of big boys that you don't necessarily need, or maybe you even have a couple of Shirahoshis in hand that you need to cycle out. Great card. Or if you're in the mirror and you really need a 10-drop, sometimes I would swing, if I'm on second curve, on 6th on turn, I'll attach one of my leaders, swing 7, then hard cast Shirahoshi, just for extra search to see if I can find a 10-drop, because that card's so important in the mirror. And you just cycle out cards you don't need.
Exactly. And the fact that like when we played, that was your first trigger, I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Yeah, it helped. I don't even remember what I grabbed off. I had only 2Ks for like 90% of that game. It was tough, but yeah. And then everyone's favorite trigger, Veggie. Oh man, you see this on life and you put it at the bottom early. I almost exclusively put this card at the bottom. I mean, you can shift it around depending where you are on the game, and like if you know you're doing yellow mirror, which is you're gonna play against a lot if you're playing yellow, you can kind of stack it around so Big Mom doesn't trash it. But it's basically just an extra life, and it kind of just sits there, and it makes life real good.
The fact that it's a 2K counter on top of being one of the most broken triggers in this game is just. Here's a good thing: it's not searchable, thankfully.
Oh.
But like, yeah, that's the least they could have done to not
it's
make
just
it busted.
It's good. And then on top of that, I've only done this a couple times where I'll hard cast Veggie, because sometimes, let's say you just really need an extra swing 5, then Katakuri it that onto life, and now your opponent is just going to be super stressed. How am I going to get around this Veggie? That's also really silly. It doesn't come up often, but you can put some extra pressure on there.
Right, exactly.
And I'm going to run 3 bolts. I seem to have bolts in my hand almost all the time. When I ran 4 bolts, I think 3 bolts is the perfect number. Search for it if you need it. Discard it with Shirahoshi if you have to, or just like, sure, you can pitch that away instead of using, like, let's say you need to get rid of a 1/1 blocker Law against Queen or Dofi, or a Chopper Veggie against Law. You can just Strucin, pitch it away. I think 3 is a good number for it. 4 seems a little bricky, but and then bolt trigger is just.
Yeah, if you get a trigger off life on that, that's just game over. That ends turns.
I wouldn't say it's game over, but it'll make your game a lot easier.
Yeah, it will like make that steep hill you have to climb a little.
Plus, it says
steeper.
5 cost, not 5K, which I think is just you get rid of 4/6 vanilla cards. Like you get rid of all that stuff. You get rid of Randolphs with it. It's just what a ridiculous card.
So good.
And then we get into my offensive trigger package. Not too much here, but we're gonna run 4 Parasparrow.
Yep.
Enough said. Great card. Sometimes you can swing with it for free because people are too scared to swing into it.
Yep.
It's great in the mirror because if they kill it, you search for your 10 drops.
Exactly.
Yeah, great card to see off trigger, and I think it's great against Zoro as well. If you trigger this as your first card against Zoro, I think you just win because you get to trade board so much more efficiently. Then you play down another card in hand the next turn after you trigger it.
Oh, absolutely.
Brutal if that's your first life.
That is the reason why I play Jinbei in my deck, because if they KO my Jinbei, then
you get rid of Parasparrow, and like Pound can put it back on life too, which is really good, because even if they put it at the bottom of life, usually you're not going to trigger it at the bottom of life against Queen.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Run 2 Smooths. Smoothie's a great card. I like it over Cracker. There's a lot of 4-lifers. When I say a lot of 4-lifers, I just mean Law, and that card, and Cracker's useless against Law. I would rather use this instead.
Yeah.
Great against Nami, great against Queen, great against Blue in general. Super strong card. You can get Saki with it and kind of just steam your opponent real quick.
Absolutely.
And then we play 2 Randolph. This card is it actually almost never leaves my hand because it gets 3000 World, it gets Parasparrow, or not Parasparrow, it gets
Red Rock?
It gets not Red Rock, the Soge King. Soge King bounces it, that feels bad. Thunderbolt gets rid of it. There's a lot of just get rid of 5 costs, and I just don't think Randolph really sits there. Or Lumpus it down it to 1, and then it gets Layout or Kyros. I think 2's a good number if you're going first and you kind of need a card to play on curve. Randolph's a good option.
Right, absolutely.
And then here's the card that makes Whitebeard not terrible of a matchup anymore. You run 4/6/8 Parasparrow.
Damn, okay.
Great card, the yellow thatch.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's a great card. I don't always like playing it on curve. Like if you play against Law, I would rather put down like 2 Parasparrows than put down 1 6/8 Parasparrow. 3/5 Parasparrows instead of 6/8. But if you can play that on curve and get away with it, because it's going to set you up for your 7, 8, and 10 drop turn. Because nothing is more dangerous than being able to swing 5 at someone's board, swing 8 at someone's board, you remove their board, and then 10 drop after. That's just absolute killer combo.
Exactly.
I run 2 7 drops. Great for your good matchups, bad for your bad matchups.
Agreed.
I played this card in my final round. I played against a Queen, and I played it on curve. I was going first, so on my 7-drop card, I played this, and he ended up trashing the life, which I think is what low-key won me the game, even though the game was over in 2 turns after that turn. But this card is just so, it forces your opponent to trash life, or you get a life, plus it's just an 8K body.
Yeah.
Phenomenal card. It's not like, if you're playing against like Whitebeard, whatever, they trash the life, they don't care.
Yeah.
You do it against Law, they trash the life, they don't care. But against other decks, or like Zoro, trash the life, they don't care. Yeah. But against like Blue or Yellow, if you're going first, you almost need to see this card if you're going against the mirror, because you just get to force them to trash a life, and that feels good.
Exactly.
We got 3 Katakuri. I absolutely love this card.
Absolutely.
Great in the yellow mirror. Let's say they play 7-drop or they play Katakuri, bounce it off to their life. Insane removal. Hitting 8s is just so ridiculous. If black plays a Sakazuki, it's gone. If the Whitebeard matchup, I usually like saving these for Thatch. You thatch it onto their life, and then you can swing 8 into Whitebeard afterwards. Super, super insanely good card. I kind of wanted to run 4 of it, but that feels bricky, and I would rather have 4 10-drops than 4 8-drops. So, yeah, Katakuri's great card.
And then, of course, the namesake.
You can't not play yellow and run 4 10-drops. This card's insane. Doesn't deserve to be restricted, but it's
Well, we'll have to disagree on that one, but go on.
Yeah, but it's so great against blue. It gets punished really easily by red. Like if you're in a losing spot and if you need to get rid of someone's board and you play 10-drop instead, probably just gonna lose because you can only swing 5, maybe an 8 with Randolph or 8 with Perospero. But like if you play this on curve, it almost feels bad sometimes. But in your good matchups, it's a win more card. Sometimes it can get you out of a sticky situation, and I'm okay with running 4 of it because you could cycle it out with Shirahoshi.
Oh, absolutely.
Cycle it, like let's say you have 2 in your starting hand and you trigger a Perospero immediately, pitch a 10-drop and you're in a phenomenal position.
Oh yeah, especially with the Katakuri, you can also just put your Shirahoshis back into your life.
That's another thing too. Yep. Oh my lord, you can put veggies on there if you want to get real cheesy, but you put Shirahoshis, put like swing 5 with Sanji blocker, put Sanji back onto life. Oh, absolutely disgusting. Plus its removal ability is just so good.
Right.
That's my Katakuri list. I think it's pretty close to the one that won the Knoxville Regional. Didn't copy and paste it. This has been my deck list since Set 4 came out, but I'm really happy with it. I think it's in a good spot. And there's other stuff that I don't want to put in. Like I don't think Pound is great in this deck. 4 bolts might be ideal, but I just personally don't like running 4 bolts. You can have 1 Sanji blocker, or you might, instead of getting rid of that 2K Sanji, put another Boulé, put another Shirahoshi. Yeah. That might not hurt, but up to just pilot dependent. So
absolutely. Well, hey man, thank you so much for the deck profile. You were amazing to play. Like our match was.
It was. Oh man, that was my favorite match today. It was. Oh man, was that tense.
That was 1K, just 1K, but you also knew it was the bottom part of my life. So I'm over here like, please, and you're like, I know what it is.
And not to plug myself more, but this is also the same deck that I used last week to go 4-0 at the Cedar Falls Store Champs.
Okay, yeah.
Went undefeated there, so it's great in the mirror. I played 2 Katakuri mirrors there. I played a Whitebeard and won that. And it's just, I think this deck's got the sauce if you play it correctly.
Oh yeah, and there were so many Katakuris today too. Like it was.
I played against yellow 3 times today because queen Katakuri.
Oh yeah, that was me. 3 Katakuris and a queen today. So
that's right. I don't know if Iowa just has a lot of yellow in it, but I think if you go to like a regional, you're bound to see a lot of yellow. So
absolutely. So you have to learn the matchup.
When Law gets super popular again, it's going to be a sad day for us. But
it's getting there, man. It's getting there. But hey, last before we end this, any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank?
Shout outs Dark Vasal Gaming in Cedar Falls. Shout outs Arizona Tea. Love that stuff.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for showing this off.
I appreciate you having me. This is fun.
Oh man. All right. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see you on the channel again.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
The story goes, we find out by the treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
His name is Luffy.
That's Monkey D.
Luffy. King of the